All right. I hope you can hear me. This is, as usual, as is typical, an experiment. Yet another experiment. What I'm planning to do is have around 1.5 to 2 hours of time right now to dedicate to what's going on. And I have been struggling to decide how to best participate, contribute, help, and so here I am, and I want to keep on trying to focus on the process rather than the product. So I have no idea whether something useful will come out of this streaming session, but I want to try. I want to keep learning and see what comes out of this. And so there are a number of things that I can talk about when it comes to setup. But I think first I want to announce in some forums that I'm doing this as an experiment. So let me do that first, given that no one is live yet or connected. It's not going to be a big deal. Actually, it looks like someone is connected. Hi there. So I'm going to share a link to this video on Twitter, Facebook. See whether someone is inspired to follow or join this. So let me do this. I'm going to be live. I'm writing on Twitter. I'm going to be live during the following 1.5. Actually, let me share this with you. Why not? Let me share, given that I can. Voila. Now you should be seeing my Twitter. So I'm going to be live during the following 1.5, let's say 2 hours. Sensemaking live about coronavirus. And see whether, that's the idea, right? I want to, what did I just paste? I want to make sure I'm pasting the actual live stream. Feel free to chat with me. Tack. Now I'm gonna copy paste this on Facebook. I don't want to spam the whole Game B group, so I'm just going to do it in the conversations group. Let's see what happens. Copy. Well. So, all right, let me deactivate the screen here. And now I can tell you more about what I have a theory, a hypothesis, that the best way to collaborate is, especially in today's interconnected world, is a kind of collaboration without cooperation. Sorry, I keep saying that wrong. Collaboration without coordination, in the sense that if I am able to share with you the raw process of me thinking out loud and producing maybe something of value, even marginally, that the process of documenting that is going to be useful in a way that I cannot predict, and that is how collaboration without coordination is possible. So in a sense, I don't need to know who is going to benefit from this, if anyone, and if not, I'm just going to be the only one to benefit from this. But if there is value that can be taken out of this, I think it's mainly in the raw materials. That's at least my theory. That this process is what can spark serendipity, and that to try to kind of coordinate each other, that's the bottleneck. That's what makes cooperation way too inefficient. So that's why, very humbly, I'm just going to try to think about what's the situation with the coronavirus, and how can I in particular help? What can I do? And I'm not sure that I have the skills to really do something useful. But on the other hand, I mean, I do have some skills, and the question then is like, how am I going to apply them? Like what this is what I want to figure out. And maybe, that's the other aspect of thinking out loud and sharing this live, that if someone jumps in and finds out, and has a good idea, they can just share. Also, this is an open invitation for people to join. And because this software that I'm using, this StreamYard, like you can see up there, it's basically a video chat, or it can be. If you join, we can just start the conversation live. And why not, right? And I'm completely open about what the utility of this is going to be. Maybe I'm going to develop some software. That's an option. Maybe I'm going to brainstorm a solution. That's another option. Maybe I'm going to do some research. But maybe what we need at this point in time is some kind of collective therapy, like or some psychological process. Or maybe we just need to feel less alone. And all of this is possible within an open medium like this, right? Like so feel free to join and participate, and to share what you think. And now I'm aware of the fact that I'm probably the only person. I'm talking to myself. But given that this is also going to be recorded, maybe if people watch it, they will already know what to expect the next time I go live. And there's a good possibility that I might do this every day for a few hours, every evening. I've been having conversations all the time recently, and recording them and sharing them. And so why not have that within the scope of something that's even more open, which is this, just a space. One could look at it like a TV, just TV that's going on. People can tune in or not, but it still goes on. So this is Nick TV in a way. And who knows, I've tried things like this in the past. These experiments, I think there's always progress going on, like marginal here and there. For example, now I'm trying a new technology that actually looks quite powerful because of the combination of everything. Right now, it's super powerful that I can share my screen, for example, if I want, but at the same time, I'm using my phone as a camera, which is a way better camera. And then there is the conversation opportunity. So it's like it's wide open as a medium, and I see that as a big opportunity. Yeah, so and I also see this as an opportunity for others to kind of learn that that's a possibility, and to create their own sessions, let's say sense making sessions, where people can maybe tune in, learn something, or provide their inputs and so on. And to a degree, like this is I'm saying this is about coronavirus, but this might shift into something more narrow or something different, like it's the whole process is about me trying to find the best way I can be of contribution. And if it is I don't know, to develop some kind of online tool because that's what I am good at. Maybe I'm not as good at finding which tool needs to be developed, but if I have clear requirements, then I'm pretty fast, or let's say compared to the average developer, I would say. So there is that potential there, that if I find, like, okay, this tool, micro tool, could really be helpful within the Corona crisis, then I'm going to do this live. Here, you can follow me. That's a possibility. On the other hand, like I have a background in coaching. I've been doing all these conversations, and I trust that process too, and I trust it to. I've had very positive experiences now with that, and so if you want to join me in a conversation, and kind of like process things that are going on, I'm happy to do that. So yes, I'm really seeing, it's really sinking in that this is a wide open space and that we have time. And there is the context right now, which is that there are millions of people at home without anything to do, or at least some of them have nothing to do. And many of them will waste time on Netflix, whatever. I find this engaging and entertaining, and therefore, like, given that I have the expertise, why not? Why not play with it? Why not experiment and see what's possible? One day this might turn into a conversation with 20 people. Another day this could turn into an interview with an expert. Another day it could just be a coding session. I don't know. And I just hope to kind of establish this as a possibility, so that others might also say, wait, I have my own skills and expertise, but I too can just share it live, share my process live, so that others can benefit from whatever detail I because there is this curse of knowledge, right? That I know things and I don't know that I know them, and that information might be relevant to others. And if I share my process, people might pick up on details that I don't even think might be worth sharing. And yeah, so this actually brings us back to this idea of process over product. And so I value transparency, and so I guess yes, this is the context. It's a long intro because it's also me kind of like exploring myself, like the reasons why I'm doing this. But maybe now is a good moment to jump into the actual sense making, which is about coronavirus, which is something that I'm not that good at for various reasons, because I'm better at building things, not that good at analysis. And here there is a lot going on, and a lot of data, a lot of people sharing their thoughts and little insights. And my difficulty at the moment, I've been kind of brainstorming in the back of my mind all weekend and even before. what's my entry point? What's the leverage point? Where can I jump in and develop a tool? Because that's what I'm good at, right? Like what's the kind of, yeah. I guess it's a bit of a problematic, like like when you're a hammer, everything you looks like a nail. And I definitely am the kind of guy that thinks that a new website, a new web application is the solution, right? And obviously that's not the case. But at the same time, if you don't want to do everything alone, then specialization is an opportunity. And so why not? Why not look for a place where my expertise, my skill is the perfect fit, right? So yes, what's the space where a tool, a website that I can build within, a few evenings, and then maybe maintain, or maybe then it's done and it does its job. What could that be? That's the exploration. And I asked this question on Facebook, and there has been some back and forth. And someone shared a link to a list of resources about coronavirus, and I think that's where I'm going to start, and we can do that together. So I'm going to look for that link, and let me see. So yeah, it was Richard Bartlett, quite inspiring guy, I feel. He shared with me the Coronavirus Tech Handbook, it's called. And I'm going to open it right now so we can kind of explore it together. Okay, how can I activate? Let me do this here. All right, do you see this? Coronavirus Tech Handbook. And so this is our starting point for, to find out a way in which I might be able to help do something, some little tool or something useful. This is a Google Doc. I find it interesting that it is possible to display a Google Doc without any, let me check what is it exactly. Is it really a Google Doc? Okay, one can donate. Help other technologists find it. Okay, let me do this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to be verbose during this session. So I'm going to tweet. I'm going to tweet often as I do this. Let me do this. Retweet with comment. Using this as a resource. I'm wondering whether I should wait. Given that I started a thread here about this, I'm going to use this thread. So, oh no, let me have to open the link again. Using this as a resource. I'm curious, maybe someone who actually maybe someone who is following this thread might, I don't know if my retweet now is going to appear here, but this might attract people, right, to what I'm doing. That could be cool. All right. Just checking on Facebook. Some people are going to. Is anyone reacting? No, not really. 0 people watching right now. Well, all beginnings are humble. Let's see. There are ways to contribute, so one could even go. So there is, I saw somewhere before that there is a WhatsApp. Yeah, there is a WhatsApp chat. One for each section. All right. I don't know if I won't be able to share my WhatsApp because too much private stuff there. Yeah, this is an interesting document, right? So public advice, remote working, isolation toolkit, all the data. I mean, this is definitely interesting. I'm gonna check it out later. Infographics, that's also interesting. Tools for scientists. I see, distributed computing. I'm looking for, because again, the approach that I'm following is I'm trying to find something that fits my skills precisely so that I can, like just get going and develop a tool. Because for sure there is so much to do, right? But where can I use my skills in the most effective way? That's a question that I have. Hardware volunteering. I mean, that's interesting, right? Because it's about helping people engage, participate. So maybe tools can help. Tools for schools, interesting too. Well, there's, like that's a bit my my problem, that I'm very high in openness, and so I get interested in too much stuff, and then it's hard to focus. On the other hand, maybe that those ideas and etc. could be good input for other people who then have the self-discipline to then continue maintaining them. And so I don't know. Everyone has to find their niche for their personality. Communities and libraries, that's interesting. And this might also be interesting as a category. Cache. I don't expect that to be easy to find cache, but yeah. And there are translations. Analytics, okay. Let's check that out too. There's so much, huh? Yeah, I mean, so many possibilities, right? So many possibilities. Okay, cool. So we see that this manual has peaked yesterday, but probably it's just because today hasn't ended yet. It is cool to see that it's not out of date. Hey, this is nice. What is this? How do they do this? Okay, that's an interesting tool. Simple analytics. Page views, blah, blah, blah. It's like basically a simple version of Google Analytics that just does. But the cool thing is, what I never thought about is an analytics tool that allows you to share, to share things publicly. That's cool. Referrals, blah, blah, blah. Okay, doctors, loading, remote. So this is what's most interesting for people, for doctors and remote work. I guess I should open these two. And it's mainly a UK kind of thing, huh? Poor UK. bad decisions have been made there. So remote. I wanted to open the actual thing. No, it's not it. How can I open it? Well, I guess I can just do this. Remote working on events, and then there was the doctors thing. Thank you. Resources for doctors. Well, I'm not a doctor. Wondering though whether, that would be useful, right? To make a tool that doctors can watch. Even though, that's big responsibility if you mess it up, right? But at this point in time, any help can be useful, right? So, given that given that this is the top page, there are reasons to believe that doctors actually look at this, which is cool. The Internet Book of Critical Care. Now, the next thing, analytics, would be to know what links have been clicked, right? Because then you see what, I guess, I assume what is most interesting to doctors. This analytics doesn't show, right? No, it doesn't really show what links have been clicked. That's a pity, because we could use that. Wait, wanted to see the doctor's thing. I'm actually wondering, like there is StreamYard shows. Hello everyone. I mean, no one is live right now, but I just wanted to see whether this chat that StreamYard is showing me is actually the YouTube chat. And yeah, and it is. Oh, that's nice. All right, so people can just. Oh, this is so good. Good tools. Just sometimes. I think I found home. I was looking for ways to live stream easily, and this looks good. Okay. Let's continue our sense making. Coronavirus, why you must act now? Is this a tweet? No. Oh, this is a link. Yeah, I think I read this actually. I'm not sure, but yeah, no. It is. There is Is it in this article? There is a really good graphic, but now it has become. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, no, but this is not what I was looking for anyway. Oh. Agency resources, technical guide, blah blah blah. That's this is a difficult thing, right? There is so much going on, and then how to find out how to help, how to best help. That's difficult because there's this sense of urgency that leads one to panic, right? In a sense like, I need to do something, and what, right? And but there is this there's something that gives me hope, which is basically the intelligibility of the world, right? The fact that even that which is opaque to you, if you pay attention for long enough, it will start becoming less opaque. It will start gaining in resolution. And so at a certain point, you will start gaining a sense of what's the best thing to do. That's what we are working out. We are working on right now. I'm not even understanding how this is split. So we have protocols. I wonder what this means. So this is all relatively recent stuff, huh? Is someone online? Like, I mean, there are many people live, actually. Even though, can one just start a conversation with them? Not directly, but there is a WhatsApp group, right? Yeah. That's actually quite cool that you can, that there are now WhatsApp groups that can be with links, with URLs. Triage remotely. Okay, this I find interesting. Remote triage. So patient with, if you have cough, shortness of breath, illness or fever, then is it a life-threatening emergency? Can I breathe? Chest pain? It's interesting how one could actually abuse this. You know, if you're sick and want help, and you know how this works, you just give all the right answers. All right. I mean, this is a clear decision, an easy decision tree, right? So that's for sure something that could be implemented. You know, like I could implement something like that easily. You know, it's like just yes, no, ta 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 ta, and you know, display it nicely. I don't know if that's of any use, right? I mean, I guess it depends on the diagram, right? Here, this is a simple one. This is a simple one. Maybe this is an opportunity, right? Because okay, I want to finish reading this anyway. Is this a life-threatening emergency? Ta ta ta. 911. So 911 is the US, right? That's US specific. Environmental risks. Staff member to contact. I wonder, yeah, USCF. Who is this? What is the USCF? Wait, let me open a new tab. Oh, wait, how do I open a new? Just like I work with keystroke. So this is the no, not just chess. Sorry, it's because I have a part of the camera tripod in front. I cannot read what but it's not I don't know what this might mean. I wonder who uses it, who needs it, and whether doctors, you know, they just Did they read this? Do they need it? Like, okay, now would be interesting to basically have a chat with the people who made this document. And I guess that would have to be on the WhatsApp group, which is a bit annoying for the, I guess, for the context of the live streaming, because I cannot really show. Let me check. Let me check whether I can show something. Let me copy this. I'm gonna open this on the side here, where you cannot see it. Oh my God. WhatsApp has some problem. Huh? Right? Or not? This link looks weird. It looks like the link is broken. Let me try this again. What's going on? It's completely broken. Let me show you. Let me show you. If I click on this is what comes up. WhatsApp is broken. How can I? Maybe it's a browser thing. Let me try to open this with Chrome. It really is. Okay, join chat. What's that? Okay, that's annoying because it only works with the Chromium browser, and I'm using Firefox for everything. What I might be able to do is to open it with. Let me think. I'm okay. No, it's not gonna work. It's stuck because to use WhatsApp web, I need to stop streaming with my phone. Oh, why did I have to do it WhatsApp? I could have used something else. Triage. Let's see what else is there. Finding on examination. Lab findings. It's interesting how, what does one do with a statement like that? It's just there. You don't know who wrote it. Chest CT. I mean, to be able to help doctors, that would be great because it's clear that they have a different expertise than the one that I have, and so like some kind of collaboration would be great. But I mean, I don't know if I'm completely crazy about what's possible. It's like I feel like I'm doing baby steps. I guess that's how it is. There's so much. That's another question. Okay, these people are all, putting together all this information. Is someone benefiting from that. I mean, I hope. But there is for sure, you know, like the impulse, like the one that I'm following, you know, to let's make sense about this. And but you know, like how much of that is actually helpful, how much of that is actually, you know, wanted, needed. Someone is actually asking a question, so for sure there's someone who is wanting to use this as a resource, not just to share content. Has anyone seen case fatality rates by both age and underlying health conditions? Huh. I think I read somewhere that they're missing that. How would one find such an information? You know, where is the raw data? Yeah, I remember, yeah. I checked out the raw data page, and here they say we would like this, right? Case fatality rate by age and comorbidity. How would one go about and find that? I mean, where is the raw data at all? Because I mean, Wikipedia is hardly the original source, and reports are also not exactly the raw data. Okay, that's interesting. I have these reports. What do these look like? What does such a report look like? So it's 9 pages long. Huh? Surveillance. Well, I feel like I'm swimming, you know, like it's just so much, and I have no idea how I can be helpful. Just exploring, I guess. I don't even know whether my headset is working and I'm really, you know, whether there is some audio at all, but that's okay. Can one turn on some music? People didn't like it last time I did it. The only way would be we'll have to switch to Chrome for everything. Anyway, let it be. So this looks like, I mean, this is not raw data, right? Because where do they have this data from? And what are the details about all these patients? Because that's what would be needed, like a big database of information about everything, all the cases, all the tests, right? That would be good. So they don't share that. I don't know, maybe there are back channels where this stuff is being shared, you know? I mean, yeah, why wouldn't they share the raw data? I mean, that's what's frustrating. That's the thing, right? They make reports and all of that. You know, that's cooperation. That's coordination. That's like, you know, like synthesizing and yeah, sense making, whatever. But that's your perspective, right? That you are assuming that this is the thing that's going to be useful to people. But meanwhile, you should share the raw data, because the raw data is what people will be able to look at and, parse in their own way and maybe make sense in a better way. Like your synthesis is valuable, but it's not all. Technical guidance. I don't think so. Situation dashboard, online training, all videos. Okay, not helpful. Global research. Database of publications. All right. Another question is, whoa, okay, this is gonna be hard to parse. Look at this. Another Chinese abstract. Nice. Obviously, right? The most sense making will probably come from China. The demand for personal protective equipment such as masks and respirators is 100 times the normal level, and costs have skyrocketed. Okay, that sounds bad. Oh my God. How many articles are we talking about? Ay, ay, ay. Okay, let's see. Show newest updates. What is this? Right. Okay. Okay, then we can. Select journals. Show all. And news updates. Are these then sorted by date? Oh, this is interesting. The emotional impact. It's funny. This was probably early days, right? I'm reading the abstract here. Wait. No, I already switched. The UI here is quite bad, I have to say. I have to reload this. All right. So is this kind of like the newest? I guess. The art of war in the era of coronavirus is. I'm having a hard time understanding why do the abstract not appear.
Can you hear me? Ui, camera is falling. Okay. I hope it's working. Anyway, well, it's all experimental, right? Back. The camera is still falling. What's going on? Was fine for a while. Oh, so annoying. I think it was sliding, probably. Anyway, it's all a learning process. Are you gonna? Yes. Not straight. Oh my god. Very annoying camera. I guess I should have deactivated it before doing this. It's not gonna stay. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. I think we got it now. No, I don't know. Let's see. Back to our situation here. An abstract list that is impossible to parse and read. Oh my god, think even, okay, what about these? Huh? Can we maybe make this more easy to parse? Share URL. What? Okay, let me. Oh my god, who made this tool? It's horrible. Download PDF. Okay. At least it's accessible, huh? The data? What about the data? Interesting. Show the figures. They have table. Let's see what the table looks like. Okay. Oh my god, my camera. I need to get better at this. You know what? I'm gonna put it down. Wow. Huh? Easy. You're gonna see me look to the side. But... All right, we're still exploring, access to data, how easy this is. It's not that easy. Okay, download full database. That's interesting. COVID database files. Okay, it's cool. It's a CSV. Okay. How can I download this? Download. Cannot select them all? Okay. Oh my god, this is also awkward. Let's just download this. Documents, Corona, save. I guessed now I will have to. Now I have to open it. Sorry, I'm going to share it as soon as I have it open. Open with what? Oh my god, I don't have Office installed. Now here it is, Excel. I don't have install. Go for it. Incredible. I didn't have Excel installed, or whatever the LibreOffice version of Excel is, Calc. I'm gonna do it now. It's downloading right now. I'm looking forward to this. Looks like, you know, the raw data about all this stuff. Looks like something, a good potential. Let's is this, no, wait. I have to tell it how to parse. Actually looks fine. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm gonna share this now with you. I'm going to have to disconnect, remove this screen, stop screen, and then share the CSV. All right, now here we have an Excel sheet. Looks like the UI is broken a bit of my, anyway, it's okay. Whoa, that's a lot. That's very large column. Let's close this a bit. All right, so we have a lot of papers, authors, year. Okay, looks all. Is this all from this year? Obviously, yeah. Month, journal, volume. Now, the next. Oh no. What? No URL? This one? Is this a URL? No. You see, this is how you make life hard for web engineers or engineers in general. You make it only human friendly rather than machine friendly, but this does look sometimes like a new URL. Let's try to open this one, see what happens. Okay. It's taking a moment, but it is loading the right page. But it redirected me, so I'm wondering what this DOI.org means. Curious about that. I'm gonna share my browser again. Where? So. Okay. My laptop is having my laptop is freezing. Great. Okay. Now what? Okay. And I'm back. Yeah, I don't know what happened. My computer froze completely. I had to start all over. Wait, I have to mute and stop the. All right. Okay. I was trying to understand how this system works with the links. doi.org is the website. So there's a whole world here. Let me share my screen again. All right, here we are. I was looking at this digital object identifier. Okay, so you can basically try this one. Let's see, tac. You end up on a paper. Okay, nice. It's incredible how awkward all of this is. If I look at this from the perspective of a of a computer scientist, you know, like to to scrape all those PDFs like to scrape all those websites to then get the PDFs in an automatized way would be just a mess. And why, why does it have to be so annoying? But I'm still wondering, I mean, what is possible with this database of publications? I mean, for sure, Microsoft, this is a Microsoft tool here. The interesting thing is that they made it searchable, at least. But probably it's just I don't know, the abstract. What do we want to know? Oh yeah, we ended up here because of this guy who wanted to know. Oh my god, I have to find it again. Doctors, I think it was here. So there was this guy who wanted to know the correlation. I know it was in the data tab. Here, datasets we'd like. Case fatality rate by age and comorbidity at the same time. No. But this isn't this already known? Yeah, no, this one. This is the interesting one. Hospitalization rate by ages and comorbidities. Like how many young people, etc., end up in the hospital. And this is down here. Someone was asking for it. Why? Another question, right? Why do they want to know? Yeah, right now I'm feeling a bit lost, right? I don't know if I should pursue this more. Relevance realization in action. I find this so awkward. Like, are scientists really accessing this information from here? Maybe not, right? Time for case numbers to dial. This is the... Oh, they have a repository. Cool. Cool. The dashboard. If you don't know it, why is it taking so long? Yeah. Yeah. This is the thing I've been staring at for the last month and a half. Look at that. Oh my god. The last jump. Scary stuff. Look at this. Whoa. Oh my god. It's like a movie. I remember when there were only sporadic cases here and there. What a difference now. But here, that's the data, huh? So they have a lot of archive data, I can imagine. The situation reports, why do they have those? Do they share or something? Downloadable database. Can I open this a bit? Yes. All right, situation reports. There are more data sources. Right now, it would be interesting to know whether these data sources are listed in the other doc. Huh? All right, let's see. Let's see what they have here. Whoa, it's interesting. A lot of issues and a lot of pull requests. Daily reports, time series. Let's look at this. I would have expected at least one person to show up, but didn't happen. Oh, I lost my tab. Some people reacted. Let's see. Okay, they liked. All right. So there is some potential for collaboration if people see this. If you're building a project, please submit it. So we still haven't reached the actual projects. So I mean, we've seen things, we've been exploring things, but haven't seen projects. See if someone answers here. Wikidata. This Wikidata thing has already appeared a few times. Now it looks more and more relevant, huh? Take a look at this. Take a look at these. Nice. Oi, happened to my phone. Wikidata. Coronavirus on Wikidata. Didn't want to open this. Just wanted to check the... Oh no. Just wanted to check this thread. Look, there is another papers on a timeline. This looks nice. Number of cases, chart of number of infections and deaths. Again, like this is overwhelming because you see, okay, there's a lot going on, right? A lot of data being collected. There's a lot of research being done. And, the question is first, like, what can I do that is not being done already? And second, okay, this is not relevant anymore. Oh, interesting. can I? So if I move to 2000, oh, here it is. Oh, interesting. So these are some papers that appeared. I'm happy that, given that this is all being recorded, all the URLs are basically saved already. So I don't need to bookmark stuff. I can just go back to this point in time where I opened the page. That's useful. If I ever end up needing these again. Yeah. I need to make sure I hear my son in case he starts crying. Technical guidance. Look about all. Look at. I mean, that would be another interesting opportunity to take this and make some resource page. I don't know. Priority areas of work. Curious. Right, this is all interesting. It's just I don't know if I'm wasting my time, like what I should spend time on. I wish more people did this, actually. Because then you would be able to kind of follow their thinking and have a clearer idea of what one could do. Oh, I forgot to check. So these are the I didn't know that GitHub can show PDFs. Not bad. So wow, do they really do this? Do they just go through the PDFs by hand? No, come on. Cannot be. Yeah, this is more like it, right? Ah, CSV actually shows it nicely. Yeah, the old times. I missed the data here. The reports are all CSVs. Let's see. Automated upload. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So these are the daily reports and what's in the time series. And then the question is, what kind of tool do they use? Oh wait, this is the data repository. So the source code of the tool itself is not, they don't show that. And this dashboard has for sure been the most useful tool ever. I feel like I'm getting tired. It's 11:45. Let's see, is someone online? Oh, someone is online. Hi there. You want to join? Feel free to join. Let's have a chat. I'm tired anyway. Too tired to sense make. Oops. No. What did I do? Just close the streaming tool. I hope it didn't go offline. You still have to learn. Hey there, chat with me. I'm writing you in the chat. I hope you answer. Ah, there's someone. Oh wait, you're connected. Let me add you to the stream. Is it okay? You muted yourself. So wait. I'm new to this tool. I still have to learn, but I see you there. Hello, Matt. Am I actually touching my face all the time? Let me answer you. Hey there. But okay, so now I have two things going on. Someone wrote comments, and then there is someone live. That would be cool if I could make them join the conversation. Plus now my phone just locked the screen. All right, let's try that again. Andrew, but how can I? Ah, wait, there is a private chat. All right. So I can chat with you. So I guess I'm going to leave. I'm a bit overwhelmed. It's the first time I use all these tools, so there's a lot going on. But yeah, cool. So people can join. Just open that URL, the URL that's visible down here, and I can just make you join the live stream, and we can have a chat. So that's the thing. And someone did it, but they cannot actually have a chat right now because they're at work. So meanwhile, you can also engage with me, like this Matt did by writing a comment on YouTube. Given that a few people are here, I would like to reiterate like what's actually going on, which is it's an experiment in public live sense making, right? I'm trying to find out how to help, basically, like what can I do, how can I contribute to the coronavirus situation. And then this might, I hope that this may become a model for something ongoing for me, and maybe beyond the coronavirus crisis, but then also maybe for other people, like I can share, if this becomes a successful thing, then others could do the same, right? Share live their own process, whatever that is, like their own process of solving problems or trying to help or anything. And why do only gamers have to do that? Like there is this culture of gaming, doing things live. Why can't we do it for more serious stuff? So this is what I've been doing for the last, how long is this stream? Like 1 hour and a half now. I've been browsing data about the coronavirus from different websites and kind of trying to figure out, where is the leverage for me to where can I use my skill set, which is mainly, I'm a web engineer, developing tools like web applications. What kind of web app could I do within a reasonable time frame? Because I'm doing this, part-time in the evenings. What can I do what kind of small tool can I just build that might be helpful? And so, I'm a bit overwhelmed because there's a lot. There are many websites. There's a lot of data that is somehow difficult to parse. And the situation is exploding. And so it's a bit overwhelming. So I'm also kind of like just dealing with the feelings, because that's anyway something that we will all have to learn. And and I don't expect anything significant to come out of today's session, but mainly I've been learning to use the tool. But I hope that over time, maybe more people will tune in. I might have some conversations with others, some collaboration opportunities might emerge, and that would be cool. Now, I'm going to close some tabs because that's anyway overwhelming. So I was browsing this, thank you. I was browsing this set of Google Docs, the so-called Coronavirus Tech Handbook. Kind of interesting how they organize this. It's a website made out of Google Docs. Would never have expected that be possible. But I'm getting a bit lost and also a bit tired. So the first thing I explored was tools for doctors themselves, right? Doctors have resources here. And then I got a bit sidetracked about the data. What data is available and in what format and so on. Memes. Laughter is not the best medicine. All right. I still like that we can laugh about things. Humor to lighten the mood. Let's find some memes. Oh, actually. It's funny that they added this to the doctors section. Money for medical research. I need to relax. Because I'm a bit overwhelmed by the fact that this is live and I don't want to, dead air I want to avoid the there, and that's stupid. Because it's just counterproductive. Hey, I got a comment. So one of the things might be sharing well, fact check data articles if you have followers on social media. There's a lot of misinformation and just plain noise that induce panic. Yeah, I agree. The question is, I mean, to a degree, I mean, that's a good input, right? Like, I mean, I could just share the things that I found to be useful. But mainly that would end up being, a few links to good websites, right? Like this one, Coronavirus Tech Handbook. I mean, it has been recommended to me by a couple of people. And that itself is already a list of resources and links and information more than you want, right? And then there is this other one. Which has been recommended by someone I trust, like an influencer, which is called. I mean, they changed the name. It used to be it's just the flu. Yeah. This is the new URL, germinfo.org. It's been called the one-stop resource because it has, news, it has information about health, survival, and so on. And so this is a good one. But I mean, you're right that as I do this, maybe I should start creating my own little website with, it could even be some kind of micro blog where I kind of summarize, some thoughts and like in a sense, like to allow people to follow what's going on without having to watch all these live streams. And that could contain links to what I consider to be the top resources. So yeah, thank you, Matt, for this input. And I think I'm going to take a moment right now to do that because, yeah, let's do it anyway because because I'm tired and this is going to be not too hard on my brain. So there is this static site generator which is called Gatsby. Let's make a new website. It's always fun to make new websites for me. And so I just need, let me open a code editor. Let's make a small website. I'm going to oh my God, I'm just realizing I haven't been sharing my screen. I was browsing the web. I think that has happened before when my laptop froze. All right, I'm going to share my screen. And instead of my browser, I'm going to share my code editor. And now we're going to make a small static website with Gatsby, which is a static site generator. Let me see. I forgot a quick start I need. Gatsby new Corona. Go for it. Didn't work. Oh no. Okay, let me. busy with, I have to close this. All right. So I'm creating the folder, and then I can open the code editor again. So it's downloading. I mean, this is it, right? This is what it looks like if you do it live, if you share the raw thing. Yeah. And my hope is that this might be useful one way or another in ways I don't expect. That's the thing, right? I hope for serendipity to happen in both ways. For example, Matt telling me, giving me this input, right? And now it inspired me starting with this little site. And on the other hand, like my process could spark insights in someone else. Like, for example, I got frustrated for a while on the World Health Organization website, and maybe someone from that site will realize that it is frustrating and then change the tools they use, or well, I don't know. Who knows? In the end, that's the whole idea, like cooperation without coordination, or collaboration without coordination. That's the thing that I think is possible if people share the raw process of their sense making. And that's why I'm doing this. So I'm going to re-share my screen, this time with a working setup. Wait, okay, Matt, that was a good point. So not only reading, looking for viable sources of info, but also summarizing it so others don't have to process. Seems like good input. Yeah. I mean, and it's like there are different levels of summarization, right? Like because it depends what question you have, who you are, and what information do you need. So it's a really complex problem, right? Like, for example, if you live in Switzerland like me, you would like information be presented to you in a specific way. And if you live in Canada or the US, then something else might be relevant to you, or if you're a doctor, etc., etc. And all of that is actually super hard to do programmatically. It's actually, I would say, impossible. So what I think I should do is either like do something like this, which is based on my trajectory and perspective, or to do something which is very specific for a very specific use and is very useful in that context. I mean, I cannot do something that kind of solves all problems in all contexts. That's not realistic. But yeah, okay, now we have a setup here. Pages. We have an index page. Oh, okay, this is going to be annoying. Okay, there is something about this tool that is not good, which is I can only share individual windows, right? So I cannot share the browser and the coding environment, which would be the best because you would see the website, or it shows the whole screen. And the problem with the whole screen is that it would show the tool that I have here in my second screen. So it's a bit annoying. That I hope they will fix that, make it improve it. But yeah, meanwhile I can maybe like switch back and forth, even though it's a bit awkward. So Gatsby develop is going to open up the site itself in the new browser. I think so. Give it a moment. All right, here, localhost. Okay, I'm going to switch just so you see. Uh, oh no. I don't know if it's live streaming yet, and probably yes. Probably from my phone you still see me. Wait. The thing is this. My laptop froze again, and this usually doesn't happen. It must have to do with the tool itself. It's quite annoying. I had to restart my laptop before. Yeah, looks like I'm gonna have to kill it. Yeah, and from my phone, I'm just logged in as as an additional user, which makes it. I just realized that I should probably use my phone as the host next time, because that's going to allow me to share my whole screen on my laptop. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I mean, this is a learning process, and now it's 11, so that's more or less the time I wanted to stop. Let's see if I manage to start my laptop again and conclude the live streaming. But yeah, I'm excited and hopeful, let's say. I hope that something might come out of this, either inspiration or inputs. And, I mean, I'm sure there are people out there who are better at me at sense making or contributing, all of that. But not all of them show how the sausage is made. And so I guess that's because that takes a lot of training. I mean, this is an iterative process. Hey people, the tool is online again. Can someone tell me whether I've been live all this time or not? I mean, there are 2 people watching apparently. Could you leave a comment and tell me whether I've been live during the last 5 minutes, because my laptop died. Meanwhile, my phone was still connected to the streaming, so I'm curious. Anyway, yeah, I hope I have to find out why my phone, my laptop freezes. Maybe I have too many things open at the same time, but it would be a pity if I cannot work in a seamless way. So, yeah. All right, I think I want to give it another try. I wanted to make a little website so that. Hey there, Matt. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, perfect. Yeah, because I mean, this is a super cool tool. It's the first time I tried out this StreamYard. It basically gives you a tool where you can kind of where people can connect, like on Skype or on Zoom or Hangouts, but at the same time you are like the master and can make a streaming out of it. Like you can stream to YouTube, maybe other tools as well, Facebook and so on. And you can say, okay, I'm now going to share desktop. Now I'm going to share other people, right? If you click on, or if you open this URL, chat.nmr.io, you would appear. I would see you down and I would be able to kind of like add you to the conversation. It would like just become a video conference like seamlessly. So that's cool. Yeah, the only I've seen like two downsides right now. One is I don't know, it seems to freeze my computer, and the other is that I cannot share two windows, which would be great. Or like the problem is actually more than that is like if I share my whole screen, it shares both screens at the same time, including maybe a window that I wouldn't like to share. Now, let's have this little success experience and deploy a little website to have the feeling that I've done something useful, and that website, like following the Matt's recommendation, is going to contain a couple of links to sites Hey, movie man. I'm sorry to hear that. My sister is showing symptoms. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to judge, right? Because I mean, flu season is we're still kind of in flu season. So yeah, I mean, my wife was sick at home last week, and it was quite bad. Like a strong flu, and now she's healthy, and we will never know unless we maybe we actually get it and then we see the difference. But I mean, here in Switzerland, things are escalating, and people in the department where she works actually had the coronavirus. So, and everything is closed. I mean, now, meanwhile, everything is closed, like the whole, school system and everything. Yeah, but I'm sorry to hear that. Where do you live? So meanwhile, I wanted to share my screen again. Try again, at least. Voila. So this is the little website starter that I just downloaded, and I want to use this to collect to just I mean to basically document the thing that I'm trying to do. All right. So what's the name of this streaming? Is something like coronavirus Sensemaking, right? I'm going to call the whole thing Nick Coronavirus Sensemaking. All right, now the page should reload. Yes. I want to remove the footer there. I don't care about that. Wait, but what's that header there? So Movieman says she's very weak and is coughing up fluid, doesn't have healthcare, can't get her test because the test isn't available. Oh, fuck. You probably live in the US, right? Here, healthcare is mandatory. You get to choose which one, but you cannot not have it. And, has its own downsides in the sense that price has been growing because obviously the market forces that go against that are not there, right? Because you just have to have one. But on the other hand, right now, that's an obvious advantage of the system. Yeah. Florida. How do people in general deal with this situation? People who don't have health care. Yeah, that's sad. have so many tabs open. Wait, let me close a few. Actually, like this is one of the sites that I would like to share. So I'm closing all the tabs except the information. All right, useful links. Yeah, I mean, I'm writing, I'm coding. Unfortunately, I cannot show you that process. Otherwise, I would have to switch back and forth all the time. But I'm going to try to save often so you see what appears. Right here. I'm gonna make a link out of this. Yeah, it would be more useful to be able to show the whole development process, right? Especially for people who, you know, might want to do the same. Or I mean, I'm not saying that at this point I'm doing things that are super inspiring, but you know, that's the whole idea, right? To show how the sausage is made. So Movieman says we can't deal with it. The only way to get tested is when it gets so bad you go to the hospital. So you actually, okay. So it's not that you cannot get it at all. It's only in the really. And the hospital slaps you with thousands of dollars in bills that we can't afford. Yeah, that's an actual tragedy. I mean, we live in a historical moment at the moment, and one sees how different countries are better or worse equipped for this. I saw, for example, a graph that correlates the amount of beds available and the mortality of the illness. And you see that there is a correlation there in the sense that, for example, in Japan, the illness had a very low mortality rate, and they have a lot of they have a lot of beds available for the population. And in Switzerland, we are not. It's not so good here. We are below average, and in fact, the amount of sick people is shooting up quite rapidly. So yeah, here it's scary too. But at least we have healthcare. Yeah. What do you think you're going to do, Movie Man? Going to add another link here. I keep forgetting the actual. It's just the flu. Keep forgetting the URL. Yes, this one. Germ info. Check that out. Okay. I'm going to order this by, by session, by dates. So today is the 14th. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep adding links, right? And maybe I can also link to the ongoing YouTube live stream. Where is it? Sorry, I have another tab open here. I'm looking for the live stream itself so that I can embed it here, or at least link it, copy. So this Gatsby software that I'm using is a static site generator, which is kind of the new way one makes websites. If you compare it with, WordPress like with WordPress, the principle is that you have a CMS in the background, right? You have like a software that is always there. You have an admin interface and so on. And with this, what you do actually is you generate the whole final website statically. So you basically have everything locally on your laptop. You have plugins and so on, and then you run the generator, and then you have basically a little bundle of files that you just put on a server. But then you don't have an admin or anything. You just, when you want to change the website, you regenerate it from start. Okay, I realize this the header is not what I want. Gatsby default starter. This is actually what it's actually the title. There you go. And then I can remove the title here. So Movieman says, I don't know if this is going. Oh, wait, I'm not going to do that. I could actually, let your comment appear on the screen, but anyway. I don't know if this is going to go in other places, but for some reason here in America, everyone is buying toys. Yeah, I've heard. That was so absurd. I mean, panic buying. For me, the sense is that to prep, it's more and more the case that to prep was not only the rational choice, it was also the ethical choice. And the difference between prepping and panicking is just a matter of timing. That's my opinion. That so, I mean, hindsight is 2020. I started a year ago, just buying things, stocking. It's not. There is no downside to it. Like you just, that's what I started doing. Like, okay, you want to buy a jar of pickles. You check what the expiry date of that jar of pickle is, and you see, okay, a jar of pickle is good for a year. And then you think, okay, how often am I going to eat a jar of pickles? If you are like me, you eat a jar of pickle every week. And then you can calculate that. That's about 50 jars of pickles. I mean, obviously, I didn't go ahead and buy 50 jars, but I bought a number. I bought more than the 1 or 2 that I would usually buy. And that's how I kind of started just stocking up with stuff, because why should I go to the groceries every day to buy things that I can already predict the amount that I will need the next year, and I know that it will be fine if I buy so much. So that's how I started, and over time we have now a few shelves full of food. Like my mom says, it's like a shop. And for me, it all followed from that decision. It's not about prepping. It's about having to go less to the groceries. But right now, that has proved a big advantage. I mean, it's not like the panic buying in Switzerland has started these days. It's still possible to go to a shop and get food and so on. But for example, masks and hand sanitizer, no, you don't find it. And I mean, yeah, like, I don't know, I was lucky to follow a YouTuber who started warning people and telling them, get ready, have some basic supplies, beginning of February. So I guess I should credit that guy too, even though, like, he's politically opinionated and I don't care so much about that. He believes in free market and calls and says that basically this is the fault of communism because China is communist. But I mean, I don't care so much about that. But he will wait, let me find him. What's his name? Subscriptions. It is this guy, this Sticks Hexenhammer. He makes coronavirus updates every day. And yeah, I guess I'm gonna credit him because, you know, I mean, he's been predicting it, and he was also back, you know, last year or 2 years ago, he was talking about the Ebola pandemic in an informative way. So I don't know, you have to like his style. So I don't know. I wouldn't have. I feel a bit of cognitive dissonance about adding him here, again because of the politically the politically charged way he talks about things. But on the other hand, really, I have to credit him for being prepared and informed. So I think that's why I'm going to put him. So Moving Man says the stores here are jacking up prices for things like hand sanitizers. Amazing. Yeah. I don't know if people would do that here or if they are even allowed. And then another comment is this isn't a joke. My brother-in-law seriously thinks the whole coronavirus is just a hoax set up by Disney. Oh my God, but you get that stuff only in the US. It's really the stereotypical thing about it's so weird. I don't know. I mean, I don't meet or I don't hear of people who are so misinformed here. I mean, we have other things, you know, like many people in my family like believe in homeopathy and all that stuff, and you know, very spiritual, against vaccines. So I mean, have there is ignorance everywhere, but some things are quite stereotypically US. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm making fun. I shouldn't make fun. I apologize for that. So I think here I would like to actually embed the video that you see. And for that, I think I need a plugin. You see, that's the cool thing about this Gatsby thing. It has a number of plugins. And what I want is embed videos. I forgot. Yeah, there is this remark, this whole idea of remark. I have to find out how this works, because then right now I'm writing HTML. Oh wait, Movie Man is writing. I want to give priority to you people who engage. So keep in mind, this same brother-in-law also told me that God chose Trump to be president, so he is already a little. Oh, yeah, I see. It's so funny how one, you know, I mean, I've never met that kind of stereotype in my life, right? So it's kind of funny to hear that they actually exist. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. In the end, it's just unfortunate. I wanted to find out how to. Oy. Okay, I'm going to ask you something. I'm going to have to plug out my headset, and please let me know if this still works. Okay, can you hear me? Can you still hear me? Because I just, removed the headset, and so I'm wondering whether the microphone is working. Meanwhile, I'm going to continue. Maybe I'm going to also
write it here. Leave a comment. By the I'm gonna wait for your answer. So I would like to activate Markdown. All right, thank you, Movieman and Paul. Ah, hey Paul, how long have you been online? You just joined. Paul is a long time follower from the times of Jordan Peterson. Hi there, nice to see you. So I think you just joined. Okay, all right. I just want to quickly explain what I'm doing. I want to start doing these sessions on a regular basis. I don't know if I'm going to, but I would like to find a way to be helpful with this crisis. And the whole process of finding how to be helpful, I'm doing it live so that, maybe people can either find some ideas themselves or learn how to do certain things. For example, like I'm going to make a website and people might want learn something from it. Or, maybe people have inputs. Plus these, you see the link down below, people can just join it. And then it becomes like a video conference. I can like add people and we can have a chat. So this can transform into an interview, it can transform into a group circling therapy session. It can be anything. So I kind of like the open format. And yeah, curious to see what comes out of that. So thanks for tuning in, and let's see. I don't know if I see only one person's watching, so he might have left already. Anyway, back to making this small website. Okay. Wait, looks like it's not going to be too hard. Let me try test. Copy. So I just copied a little bit of Markdown, and no, this didn't work. So how does this work? Maybe I need to add the plugin. Components. Hey, Movie Man. I'm just seeing. Okay, thank you for joining. By the way, yeah, what I wanted to ask you quickly, maybe. Oh no, he left already. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, thanks for joining and thanks for sharing your life situation. It's sad, and it's also hard to know what to say. Anyway. And there's gonna be a bottleneck. That's the problem. So what I have to find out what plugins have already been activated. Yeah, it's not there yet. Okay, so I'm missing this npm install. Ah, Paul, it's weird. It shows me 0 people watching. So, but you say you're still. It looks like you're still there. So you're refusing to be hysterical. Yeah, I mean that's the best attitude, right? But for sure, it's a historical situation, and you know, there's like so many weird situations going on. You know, like for example, my father got sick last week and had a really bad cough, and who knows, you know, like he said he never had such a hard time. And on one hand, like he hopes that that was already it, and on the other he's not sure because he was kind of close to my grandma who is more than 80, you know, like that might mean he might have infected her, you know, and so it's like all these calculations, it's like it's crazy. I'm a 0. What do you mean by I'm a 0? I mean, okay, listen, the thing that is most worrying about this is that no, it's not the mortality rate, it's that there is like 1/5 of people who get it need hospitalization, and we definitely don't have enough beds for that. So that's the big problem. And the the mortality is different in countries that have less beds available than in countries that have more. So that's yeah, and I think that's a good reason to, you know, the whole locking down of everything for to just slow down the the time, the rate at which it burns through the population. That's my sense. Ah, okay, now I get it. Yes, yes. Now either someone else joined or you are being counted again. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't been following you so much. Like, how's life? Are you still doing art? I don't even know like what the Gilets jaunes are doing. You were documenting that a bit. That's the last I was kind of following you a bit with those adventures. But I guess all of that has been overwhelmed by the news. So Paul says, I'm planning to stay put, but a guy was coughing in the metro. Yeah, you see, all this, one gets paranoid. And yeah, it's, you know, like my wife had to go, you know, I mean, you live in France, right? So from Zurich to Bern for a week, which is 1.5 hours by train. And the trains got emptier and emptier over time. And now from next week on, we're all doing home office. So yeah, that's what's going on here. I wanted this plug in here. And this hopefully should. It's weird. Last time I used Gatsby, it was easier. What happened? I got a video deleted by YouTube recently. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. What was it about? Do you still talk about Jordan Peterson? He's a poor guy. so confused. It's weird. It was easier last time I started. I guess I'm getting too tired. You know what? I'm just going to leave it as is and publish it, because so we have a kind of like so we can conclude this. So what does Paul says? I'm busy taking care of my body. Yeah, okay. I remember some videos you were sharing. I mean, Paul says there is a long delay between sending messages and when you see them. I have to turn from one screen to the next. I have to look at the chats, and that's why there is a delay when I see them. And I mean, maybe I should activate some notification sound and then I would see it, but I don't see anything. I wonder, maybe. I probably there is a sound. But I removed the audio because there was feedback between my phone and the laptop. I talked about the hospitalization, which is already a while ago. Oh no, wait, is that the second update of the family that you're talking about? All right, here is the website that I'm working on, and I'm going to leave it. Still takes time. Okay. Yeah, I mean, streaming, etc. I can imagine this all being slow. But anyway, I find it amazing that I'm doing all of this for free. I have a newsroom, basically. That's what it is, right? Like where you can like share things, and I mean, it's just amazing what technology is enabling right now. Also, something else that is relevant right now, I bought a tripod for the phone, and I've been doing WhatsApp calls almost all day with family and friends, and that's really something that is going to help us socially and psychologically in this situation while everyone is, while everyone is at home, stuck. So the live stream, let me see here or there. All right. So I think I'm just going to, let me write a little intro, and then I'm going to publish this and leave it at that. So what do I want to say? This is an experiment in public sense making. I intend to live stream what? The process. I'm going to read your comment in a second. I'm going to finish the sentence here. So I'm kind of writing this intro here. I intend to live stream the process through which I find how to be helpful in the coronavirus crisis. Voila. Okay. And actually, I think I want to state why, because that's the key point. I believe that hyper collaboration, which is collaboration without cooperation, is going to be enabled by people sharing the raw sense making process. That's my thing. That's my theory, that the more people kind of like, don't just share the, so the nice, pretty, finalized, edited stuff. That, okay, let me explain it. So this is kind of today's outcome. I'm looking for a way to use my skills to help in the crisis. And my skill mainly is building web applications. And so I've been spending basically now 2 hours looking at online resources, data about the coronavirus, etc., and actually getting a bit overwhelmed by it, looking for, what kind of web application or whatever, what can I do that to contribute to the sense making, etc. And so my like this is I wanted to conclude with a little product, to feel that I've done something. And so this is basically it. This little page. I'm now going to publish it so that I can then go to sleep, basically. I'm going to make a little GitHub page so where I can publish it. Let's not share the virus. Yeah, I agree. So I missed that to comment. So my point about Jordan Peterson was the sad logic of his succumbing to a tech program giving his pro science basis. I don't know. I think that's unfair. I mean, it's ironic, I guess. But I mean, anyone would have succumbed in that circumstance. That's my thing. So copy. I'm going to publish this. Wait, accept. I need to add. Site. I have this site.com. No, site. Yeah, I have to set up the deployment here. Wait. Come on, I don't remember. I see. So you disagree about Are you following John Vervaeke? Because I think he has big insights that are, maybe a bit more academic, but probably as important, I don't know, arguably, as Jordan Peterson's. And he comes from the same university and is also a psychology professor of meaning. And so that the parallels are striking. And now his meaning crisis series is amazing. So I've been following him. So how do I, anyway, okay, I think I'm going to do this another day. I'm just going to deploy from here. So now just do it. I'm curious whether it would be cooler if I could kind of like display on the screen the chat, you know, because then people would be able to see who I'm responding to, you know. But it doesn't look like. I can, you know, like highlight individual messages like this. Ta-da! Hello. Your message just appeared on the screen. I just shouted looking at Verveki. Okay, bye. Bye, Paul. See you another time. Thank you for checking in from time to time. Meanwhile, here the site is being deployed. And Corona is now available here. There it is. And I'm going to share these both. I'm just going to post it in the comments. And I'm going to I would like to put it in the description. I guess I have to add that later. But yeah, I guess this is it. I mean, it's not much to show for the first 2.5 hours, but there was a lot of technical stuff to deal with, and at least we have a starting point. Let's see how this goes on. Thanks to the people who tuned in, and we'll see how it goes on. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna close the broadcast now.